Okay. So let me first just show you guys where stuff is in CTLS. And then we'll get started into this and then take our lunch. All right, so let's go to today's lesson. All right, I'm gonna go to assignments. Make my life even easier.
What was the Nearpod code?
I'll put it back up in 1 second. It's only taking a couple minutes to show this to you guys.
Okay.
All right, so you guys got 2 assignments. So let's go. They're probably gonna be at the bottom, I'm assuming. I'm looking at it as a student, so I'm just trying to look for all your work. All right, so let's look for it. And I'm gonna try to show you guys something else in the process. Your final exam, you guys remember back in August when y'all did the superheroes? Does everybody remember that? That's your final exam. Does everybody got me on that? Now, there's only like 6 of y'all that did it. So those 6 people got zeros right now. The majority of you guys have credit for that. So I'm going to show you guys all 3 of those assignments in CTLS, and then we take it from there. The first one is going to be the current event assignment. That's right here. That's due on next Tuesday by 11:59. That's when you guys got to find a current event. Give me 5 to 7 sentences summary of the current event. And then you guys give me another body paragraph, 5 to 7 sentences of how that current event relates to something in our class for ethnic studies, okay? That's the first one. Okay. Keep looking. Local comments, that was a good assignment, but I did not make that perfect final. Okay. Okay, the other assignment is called the perception test. That was given on August 21st. So I couldn't find it in here, but it's there. I probably just overlooked it. That's the final exams, okay? So it was due way back in August. These are the people that I don't have a final exam for. These people need to make sure they get it to me by Monday if I can go ahead and read over it and solidify the grades. So those people are, and again, remember the superhero assignment is when you draw yourself as a superhero and then you give yourself powers on the outside of the superhero. And then that's how you guys, that's your final exam. I'm not gonna add nothing to it. I already said it was gonna be the final, but I'm definitely not adding anything to that portion. So next week, as far as our class, we really not gonna meet, okay? I'm gonna be here, but we don't have a final exam. The final exam is simply just that perception and superhero. Okay. All right. Brian, Marley, Shine, Kai, Jalen, Severin, Maria, and Moses. You guys need to make sure you guys get that perception test, the superhero assignment, submitted to me by Monday. Okay. All right. Let's go and go back to get started.
So you're going to be grading our old superhero things again for our exam?
Well, no, I'm counting that for the final exam. That was already part of the final exam. I'm just not going to add the second part that I was going to do at the beginning of class because we might not finish this in time to do that. So we might not finish the Black Lives Matter, Trayvon Martin stuff that we started today until Tuesday. And y'all have to do a debate. So I'm not going to add anything to y'all plate when y'all got enough to worry about right now with just what we're doing now, both emotionally and just physically getting ready. So as long as you submitted it, you're good. You got nothing to worry about. Some people that did not submit it, you better do it because right now you got a 0 for your final exam. All right. So let me say this first and foremost. Today we are talking about Trayvon Martin. I got waivers from everybody in the class for a reason. Make sure you guys are in here. There is going to be a debate. Remember, your debates are your tests, so that's going to be either on Monday or Tuesday. Take notes. Make sure you guys have paper out. Everything you guys are doing today, tomorrow, is all meant to prepare you guys for that debate, okay? So just be ready for that. And again, you are going to see some images. You are going to see some videos. You are going to see some pictures that may be found as disturbing, okay? But just make sure you guys hold on with me. We're going to be all right. If at any point you find yourself to feel uncomfortable, let me know. For online people, I am begging you to actually have your cameras on. If I can start seeing you guys' eyes, if I can start trying to just make sure I check in with people. Again, we're covering a lot of material that some people may find to be harsh. So have your cameras on for my online people. Face to face, I'll be looking at you guys. So we'll get started. All right, the first thing you guys are going to have to do is go ahead and go to my blog. And you guys, we're going to talk about racial profiling first. What I need you guys to do is to read this excerpt of this comic book. This is Marvel Civil War 2. And just read through the comic book. What we're going to do in a second is talk about how this may be an example of racial profiling. So I'm going to give you guys 5 to 10 minutes to read, and then I'll give you guys the opportunity to collaborate and discuss it. You need the Nearpod code. Here it is right here. Yeah. Okay, so just go to my blog, go to drtidwell3.com. If it's not letting you open in the Nearpod, oh, I'm sore. Go to drtidwell3.com. I'm gonna walk you guys through it here. Okay. And then you're gonna click on right here where it says ethnic studies. And then you want to go to where it says racial profiling. I'm going to also just go ahead and make a QR code real quick. For those people that just need to get to it real quick. So I'm going to try to hurry up and read this. All right, so here's a QR code as well. For those people that need that, just scan the QR code, y'all get in on it. And your participation level in the Nearpod is also going in as a grade in the grade book, similar to what we did earlier in the week when we did the one for affirmative action. So just make sure you guys are ready for that too. We got 5 minutes left, you guys. Just as a reminder, we all should be here in this Nearpod. And right now we're reading the comic book excerpt from Marvel Civil War II. And we're trying to see is this an example of racial profiling. Today we're talking about Trayvon Martin, and also all the events that started Black Lives Matter, which is going to be our jumping off point to talk about the events that's occurred the summer of 2020 this year.
I have a question, Dr. Tilo.
Yeah, what's up?
Are we doing like a debate, or is there a place where we're answering this question?
You're gonna answer the question in the next part of the Nearpod. I haven't moved it yet.
Okay.
And then we're doing debate either Monday or Tuesday. So you're taking notes just for you can have something, to really make a strong debate.
Right. Okay.
Because the debate is going to be your Unit 7 - Unit 8 test because it's covering all this stuff. About 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. About 3 minutes left to read. This is our warm up, getting ourselves together. And just another reminder, the final exam is going to be the perception test that we did back in August. We have to draw yourself as a superhero. So if you have not turned it in, it's right now it's a 0. You guys got until Monday to get that into me. If you want to add something too, you can. But like there's a whole second part of the assignment that. Okay. So that's gonna be our final exam. The second part was like some courses you had to answer, like 4 or 5 courses, like a short essay, but we're not doing that. That is our final. Like we're not doing anything extra. So that is our final exam. And the reason why I did it that way is because over 95% of y'all did. So we're not doing anything extra next week for the final exams. There's only 6 people need to go do that assignment. Out of 35, I'll take those odds right there. You got 2 minutes. Okay, 60 seconds. All right. That's time. So now let's go ahead and reflect. All right, so throughout this whole presentation, I'm gonna trust that you guys are gonna be mature and make mature comments, and you're trying to make sure you be honest, but also make sure you consider everybody involved, as far as our classmates and even myself. All right, so what you guys gotta do here, how was the comic excerpt you just read an example of racial profiling? Be sure to think outside the box here, okay? So go ahead and put in your comments here, and then we'll see where we are in 5 minutes. It's all opinion based, but still go ahead and put your comments in. You can like other people's that you agree with. Hey guys, so we're about to go to lunch in a little bit. So my online people, go ahead and make your comment here on the discussion board, and then you guys can log out, come back at 12:30. Okay, we're back on the regular schedule. And then we'll move deeper into this lesson. All right, so based on the poll, you guys know a little, so that's fine. I guess I do want to go here. Okay, first just think and then share. So I want you guys to go into this question here. Should a person be able to defend him or herself? That's supposed to be if he or she is in danger of being hurt or even killed. Should he or she be able to use any weapon, including guns, to keep him or herself safe? So go ahead and give me your opinion on this real quick. All your opinions, give me your opinion. You could like other people's, you agree with, just give me your opinion. No wrong answers here. Just thinking out loud about a controversial issue. Okay. Does anybody need more time here? Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Another question, just think and share. Do you feel that people of different races are treated equally in today's society? Give an example when you experience or seen in unequal treatment. So yes or no, and then give me an example of when you've seen someone being treated equally or unequal. So forget to give me the examples too, y'all. Hey, does anybody need more time? Okay, thank you guys for your feedbacks. Again, you guys can go like other people's. Hide the names because I want you guys to be brutally honest and truthful with wherever you're feeling. And you're able to feel however you feel. No one's ever going to hate you on that. All right. Let's keep moving on. All right. So before we really dive in deeper with the idea of what happened with Trayvon Martin, I want to make sure you guys heard. Have you guys ever heard this guy named Rodney King? Nope. Yes, no? All right. So this is some bias. I'm originally from South LA, and I still remember the 1992 LA riots, and I remember the beating of Rodney King. This is one of the first videos where you saw a person being assaulted, if you will, for lack of a better phrase, by the police. So here's a quick video. So it's a background.
Can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we all get along?
First of all, I was thinking about him. You know, what could he have done to deserve that? I didn't see the very beginning of it. I thought maybe he tried to hit a policeman or something. What could he have done to deserve that?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Lawrence M. Powell, not guilty of the crime of assault by force likely to produce great bodily injury and with a deadly weapon.
What does this verdict show in your view?
Racism, and also it shows me the fact that the police can get away with anything.
The way I feel, we have no other way to event our frustration out, because we're already at the bottom. You know, what else can we do? Nothing but violence.
Can Can we all get along? Can we get along?
Going to jail back and forth, I mean, killing, and also watching brothers get killed. I mean, it can take a toll on your life. It can take a toll on your mind. You're just standing right next to a brother and you just see him get his head blown off.
We have injustice in the criminal justice system. And it's not just George Floyd. You look back even in modern history in my lifetime. This started with Rodney King. Rodney King was 30 years ago. We suffered in this city through Abner Louima and Amadou Diallo and Sean Bell and Eric Garner. How many times have we seen the same situation? Yes, the names change, but the color doesn't. And that is the painful reality of this situation. And it's not just 30 years. It is this nation's history of discrimination and racism dating back hundreds of years.
Okay, so definitely in your notes, you guys might want to draw from, the first thing I'll make a note of as far as your debates coming up is going to be Rodney King. So that's something you definitely want to be able to draw from in our coming up debate. So basically with Rodney King, it happened back in 1991. He was a motorist, and again, still some information we don't know, but he was stopped by police and he was beat with batons. This was pre-cell phone. So this was a person that actually had a camcorder and went out and camcordered and recorded what occurred to him. It was sent up to news stations, things like that. They had a trial. The trial moved out of LA County and moved into Simi Valley, which is a very different socioeconomic area. And the officers were found not guilty. A couple hours later, you got the 1992 LA riots, which is still one of the most recent large riots. It's the biggest one in the United States, but other cities also had smaller riots. But South Central LA was down to the ground. I was 10 at the time. I haven't had no school, but I remember on that next day, I just woke up and it was just smoke all around my house. Like it was just literally like just smoke, burnt area, ashes. It was just like crazy. So still vividly remember that. So kind of got some bias, but again, that could be where a good place to start our discussion. We're talking about what happened here. Okay. All right, so now we want to go ahead and move into now the election of Barack Obama. He was elected in 2008. And you might ask the question like, hey, why do we want to do that? Well, one of the historical significance of his election is that he was the first Black American to be elected to presidency. Everybody got me on that? And during his presidency is when Trayvon Martin and some other incidents occurred. Does everybody got me on that? So that's the next thing I'm going to have there on my notes. Is the election of Obama. So let's go ahead and watch a little bit about him. First question I'm gonna have for you guys real quick is, what do you know about the historical importance of the election of former President Barack Obama? A lot, a little, nothing. Let's go put in what you got. All right, so almost okay. Now we got a little bit, about half of you guys. I don't know, it's changing. We have a small, no, we don't know yet. I'm gonna stop saying something because it's changing a lot. Okay, with only 5% absentee. Oh, what's going on? How did it go from 5% to 9.5? All right, so it looks like right now for a safe bet could say about half of you guys, a little bit over half of you guys know a lot about the election of Obama. So let's just review it. That way you guys have some historical background when we move forward, okay? All right, this will be a video that's gonna talk about the historical nature of the election of Barack Obama.
The election of 2008. On November 4th, 2008, the world watched as millions of proud Americans marched through the streets, celebrating the election of the first black president in U.S. history, Barack Obama. This is the story of the historic 2008 U.S. presidential election. Barack Obama first appeared on the national stage at the 2004 Democratic National Convention. Obama delivered a passionate and hopeful speech for the presidential nominee, John Kerry. The response was ecstatic, and he became an instant star in the Democratic Party. That same election season, Obama was running for a U.S. Senate seat in Illinois, and he won. Barack Obama was now the junior senator from Illinois, and a name people would continue to talk about. Only 4 years later, his message of hope, delivered at the 2004 Democratic National Convention, would become the driving theme of his own presidential campaign. In 2008, the Democratic primary came down to Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. For the first time in U.S. history, neither Democratic candidate was a white man. Initially, Senator Clinton seemed to be the Democratic frontrunner. She was well known as the Senator of New York and the former First Lady of her husband, President Bill Clinton. Obama did not have the same level of name recognition, but his message spoke to the Democratic base, and his campaign methods strongly appealed to young voters. He secured the primary nomination. In the general election, Senator Obama faced off against Republican Senator John McCain of Arizona. Then President George W. Bush's second term was coming to an end, and his approval ratings were incredibly low, at only 37%. These low approval ratings gave Obama an advantage over McCain, who supported many of the policies of his fellow Republicans. Obama chose Joe Biden to be his running mate. McCain chose Sarah Palin. In debates, Obama and McCain clashed over many issues, most prominently the war in Iraq, taxes, and health care. Obama campaigned on a message of hope and change we can believe in, which resonated with voters. On Election Day, he won 365 Electoral College votes to McCain's 173. Obama also won the popular vote, 66,862,039 to 58,319,442. Beyond this being a big win for Democrats, it was a monumental moment in history. Barack Obama had just become the first black president of the United States of America. When he won, in cities around the country and even the world, people marched through the streets in victory parades. Obama's victory was attributed to his successful grassroots organizing, energizing new voters, and activating the black vote, as millions more voters of color went to the polls to cast their vote than had in previous elections. President Obama's victory was important in both symbolic and practical ways. It encouraged people of all identities to run for office and inspired millions who had previously felt overlooked to join the political process.
Okay. So now y'all got a little background on Barack Obama and his election. So now what I want you guys to do here, Barack Obama's legacy, and then the question is, did he improve U.S. race relations? Okay. There's a lot of, in talking, like you go to a barbershop, oh, you know, Barack Obama was a black president. He made things better for all black people. Okay, that's cool. Again, that's a barbershop talk. Now what I want you guys to do is go ahead and click on this link here. For those people that need the QR code, I'll make the QR code in a second. And go ahead, I'm gonna give you guys 7 minutes to read through this BBC article. Now, I'm taking a BBC article because BBC is typically not American based, it's based in Europe. So it gives you a little bit different perspective on it, okay? So let's go ahead and read through this article, and I'm gonna have some questions for you guys here too. You guys 7 minutes on this. For people that need the QR code, there you go. That's the QR code for the article. And then I'll go back to the other one in a second. So 7 minutes starting now. Go ahead and read through this article, y'all. We're doing a 5 minutes. About 3 minutes. About a minute and a half. One minute. Hold on to 30 seconds. Okay, even if you finish, that's fine. You guys stay with me? Y'all all right? Now, another discussion. Did the election of Obama help race relations in the United States? Based on article you just read, please answer the question to the best of your ability. Remember, only say what you can support with the article you just read. Is everybody got me on that? So, to try to avoid personal biases, I want you to reference the article, okay? I'm not really looking to say, okay, what do you personally feel? Based on the article you just read, did it really help or hurt race relations? And give me your explanation. Go ahead and take a couple minutes on this one, y'all. Be honest, but please maintain to be mindful of your classmates. You guys can like other people that y'all agree with too. Just treat it like Instagram or social media and hit the likes. Take like another minute or so here, y'all. Appreciate y'all feedback. And it seemed like it's pretty much of a mix as far as like people believing that it did help, it didn't help, based off the article. And you know, you can definitely take those stances. Okay. So you guys got some background on, okay, you saw Rodney King, you see what happened with that situation. That was back in the early 90s. We've already talked about Cold War, we talked about Reagan, things of that nature. Then you see the election of Barack Obama in the early 2000s, okay? Then you have the death of Trayvon Martin that occurs, okay? This is in the second term of Barack Obama's presidency. He was a student around some of y'all own ages, or even brothers and sisters you may have, so he was very young, relatively speaking. So what I want you guys to do right now is just go ahead and fill the blanks here with some key vocabulary that I want you guys to do. Do the best you can here, okay? Do the best you guys can. So just try to fill in the blanks. I want to see how much you can get right here. Make sure it's working. That's how I actually really write. Okay, that's cool. And I think it kicks you back until you get it at the right spot. What's the first one? Justice? What's the second one?
Criminal law.
Okay. Third?
Criminal defense. No, I think it would be criminal trial. Sorry, not defense.
Yeah, it's criminal trial. I think so. Then 4, the prosecution. 5, defense. Yep, that's defense. 6, jury. Okay. 7, first degree murder, right? And then the next one will be what? Second degree, right? Second degree murder. And this last one is what? Yes, that's correct. Voluntary manslaughter. Okay. Because Trayvon Martin has to deal with a court case that came out of it as far as the legality and the way he was killed, want to make sure you guys have some vocabulary background. All right. That's the first one. It tells you guys got it right or wrong. Now let's go ahead and go to the next one. Another fill in the blank. Take some time. Go ahead and get this one done too. Okay, what's the first one? Involuntary. Where is it? Involuntary what? Manslaughter, yep. What's number 2? 2 is answer. Number 3, acquittal. Number 4, yep, forced to be guilty. Number 5, stand your ground. This is a big one. This is something I'm really gonna make sure we kind of focus on. Every time I teach this, not surprised. But a lot of students do not know about this law. And just as a heads up, Georgia does have a stand your ground law. What's the next one? Racial profiling. And the last one is what? Civil law, right? Okay, we good. Okay. All right, so now this article here is to give you guys just a little bit more background on Trayvon Martin and the official case that occurred. So make sure you guys go ahead and read through this article. Give you guys another 7 minutes or so to read through it. For those people that need the QR code, I'm about to pull it up for you right now. So here's the QR code for people that need it. And just make sure you guys read through this one here. So the next topic is gonna definitely be now Trayvon Martin. Seven minutes on the clock. Read as much as you can. The minutes might be kind of long. This is a shorter one. This happened roughly about 8 years ago, right? It wasn't that long. So I'll give you guys about another minute on this. It wasn't that long. I'll give you all the short one. Go ahead. It wasn't that long of one. All right, let's get ready to move on. Okay, so this one here, I'm not gonna have any questions for you. The article kind of referenced how Barack Obama came on TV and spoke about Trayvon Martin. So this is gonna be some of that. And the whole interview, I started to get that to you guys for 20 minutes. I made questions for, I was like, I'm not gonna sit y'all through 20 minutes of that video, okay? So this will be just a quick synopsis of it, like 5 minutes. We're not even gonna watch the whole 5 minutes of this video. So just listen up.
Without warning today, President Obama decided to blow open the argument about race and bias in America, calling on the nation to do some soul searching. And 6 days after the verdict, getting personal and saying he could have been Trayvon Martin. Afterwards, people across the country posted these images side by side. And now ABC's Jim Avila has this seismic moment at the White House today.
Reporters scramble. The half-empty White House press room jolted by a rare surprise visit from the President of the United States.
You think anybody else is showing up?
After talking to his wife Michelle and calling senior staff into the Oval Office, the president decided late yesterday to speak from the heart today about the case of Trayvon Martin.
When Trayvon Martin was first shot, I said that this could have been my son. Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago.
In highly personal remarks, equal parts president and law professor, but mostly African-American male, Barack Obama reminded the country why the Zimmerman verdict cut so deeply in the black community.
The African-American community is looking at this issue through a set of experiences and a history that doesn't go away. There are very few African-American men in this country who haven't had the experience of being followed when they were shopping in a department store. That includes me.
Obama did not challenge the verdict, but did talk about how life experiences make African Americans question whether they are treated equally in the eyes of the law.
And that all contributes, I think, to a sense that if a white male teen was involved in the same kind of scenario, that from top to bottom, both the outcome and the aftermath might have been different.
The president suggesting more could be done. Police training to avoid racial bias. A review of stand your ground laws the administration says may promote rather than prevent gun violence. And the bolstering of the self-esteem of young black men.
And then finally, I think it's going to be important for all of us to do some soul searching.
In the end, President Obama went personal again, heartened by the racial progress he sees from his daughter's generation.
You know, when I talk to Malia and Sasha, and I listen to their friends, and I see them interact, they're better than we are.
Finally invoking the Constitution itself as the nation continues a 230-year struggle with diversity.
You know, we're becoming a more perfect union, not a perfect union.
The president came to the press room carrying only notes, no script. There was no teleprompter. His aides say he was speaking from the heart. We know at least he was speaking off the cuff. Diane?
White House correspondent.
Okay. All right. So now this one here is still talking about Trayvon Martin a little bit more. But now this video here, you're going to have a couple questions on. A very, very short video. But the last one is when you had former President Barack Obama. It wasn't scripted, and you always see when the president or a major person get in front of TV, they always have teleprompters. He had no teleprompters. So I was in the middle of teaching constitutional law, and I remember that came up. The first thing I noticed, he had no teleprompters. I mean, he was totally coming off the cuff and being a little bit more raw, which is not something you see very often from any sitting president. Okay. All right. So let's go on this one. You have one question on this one, but it's like a very quick video.
Going to turn to Florida. George Zimmerman on trial.
All right. So what do you know about the stand your ground law? So that was one of the vocabulary words that I gave you guys. But is that the first time you ever heard of it? Do you know what the law is? Did you know there was even a law called stand your ground law? The Trayvon Martin case really has to do with the fact that one reason that, okay, I'll probably be going ahead of myself what's coming up, is that George Zimmerman was acquitted, is that Florida had what's called a stand your ground law, which basically says that you can protect yourself against bodily harm, and even if that results into death. Does everybody got me on that? So that was the reason why he was acquitted, because of that law, and he and his lawyers rather invoked that law as far as his prosecution and cross-examination. Okay, so go ahead and put that in here to give me you guys, what do you know about the stand your ground law? Give me your opinions, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so go ahead. Any of you already have not done so. So you guys are looking at what I'm saying as far as debate topics coming up for next week. I got Rodney King, Obama's election, Trayvon Martin, and I also got Obama and Trayvon Martin. In Trayvon Martin, I'm considering the idea of the standing ground law, okay? Because I still tied to that overall idea. All right. So finish watching, talk about more about the case and the standing ground.
On trial for the murder of Trayvon Martin. Today, the jury heard from Zimmerman's former college professor who seemed to catch George Zimmerman in a lie. Just what did he know about self-defense? ABC's Matt Gutman has more now from the Florida courtroom.
It was a full-scale assault on George Zimmerman's credibility.
Do you remember the defendant, George Zimmerman, being a student in that course?
I do.
The prosecution catching Zimmerman in an apparent lie, asking Zimmerman's former college law instructor,
"How you doing, George?"
if the defendant knew anything about a Florida law allowing someone to use deadly force if mortally threatened.
Did you discuss specifically self-defense and stand your ground laws in the connection of violent crimes such as murder?
Yes.
It was only yesterday that jurors watched Zimmerman saying the exact opposite in a Fox News interview.
Prior to this night, this incident, had you even heard stand your ground? No, sir. You'd never heard about it before.
Zimmerman got an A in that class in 2010. His team arguing this all comes down to self-defense.
You don't have to wait until you're almost dead before you can defend yourself.
No, I would advise you probably don't do that. Yeah.
Eliciting a chuckle from Zimmerman.
Now that smile quickly faded, Elizabeth. George Zimmerman being hammered away his credibility by the prosecution. There was only one person who was there both for the start of the fight and for that shooting that night. That's George Zimmerman. We're likely not to hear him speak. So in order to win, the prosecution has to ensure that the jury doubts his version of events. Elizabeth.
All right, so now, is stand your ground law fair? Yes or no? Okay. 45 seconds to answer. Just yes or no. Is it fair? Go. You guys previously kind of already had a discussion about it. I want to see if anything changed. Oh, man. If y'all want to see me mad, come back fourth period because I'm going to have students bragging me about what my LA Clippers just did. So you want to see me mad? Come back fourth period. All right. Looks like close, right? Pretty close. You got 38.5% saying yes, and then about 30.8% saying no. So that tells me you kind of like cross. We're like in the middle. So I got me on that. And real talk, this is different. So again, this whole lesson is really more so, it's not really high school based, it's college based. This is something I teach in my American government class or my constitutional law class, which is why y'all see so much legal stuff thrown at you, right? This is very different than what I come from another state, like say California, New York. Did I got me on that? When I teach classes there online, totally different. Because again, you keep in mind, California, New York, as far as their laws and see how they see guns is also different too. Did I got me on that? So kind of what I expect, but I appreciate you guys being honest about that. Okay. Now, I want you guys to be the lawyer, okay? Now it's your turn. Individually prepare. You guys I'm saying 25 minutes. This is the longest part, but it should not take us 25 minutes. I want you guys to not necessarily do research, but really read and think about this, okay? What would you do if you was a lawyer? Is everybody got me on that? Again, I guess this kind of gave premise about this before, something I use a lot in my college classes, but I wanted to give to you guys because it's still vital information. Do the best you guys can. Is everybody got me there? I'm not gonna give you guys the whole 25 minutes, but I want you guys to give me an answer, okay? So, you guys should be able to read it on your screen. Now it's your turn. Individually prepare a case as though they were presenting your argument to the jury who will be deciding whether George Zimmerman is guilty of second-degree murder or is innocent. You choose whether to be a defense or prosecution. Make sure you include opening remarks and introduction to the case, making sure to define key words and contextualize the story. Then write one paragraph. This is already one from you guys from here. Write one paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, for each key argument citing evidence from today's lesson. So that's why I'll read one for you guys. Everybody follow me there. I want that one body paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, where you guys going to try to make citing evidence for each key argument that you will use if you was a lawyer. Okay? So now George Zimmerman was acquitted. If you was a lawyer, you take either the defense or prosecution, what would you do? Same or different? Okay? So go ahead. This is the test portion of this assignment, okay? Need y'all to think. Think. I'll give you 3 to 5 sentences, is all I want. We're going to take about no more than another 10 minutes on this part. I got about 7 minutes on this. All right, little under 4 minutes. Okay, does anybody need more time? Because we can go ahead and move on. Does anybody need more time? Huh? Anybody need more time? Yeah. Okay, so you got 3 minutes then. We're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. A bit under a minute, and we're gonna go ahead and move on. So go ahead and hit that enter key. I'll take what you got. All right. Okay, y'all, let's get ready to move on. All right. Does Georgia have a standing the ground law? Okay, you guys don't have to worry about doing nothing on this one here. Actually, yeah, Georgia does have a stand your ground law. Do you believe it's a good law in general, or does it make you feel more or less safe? So go ahead and put that here. I'm letting you guys know, and I gave you guys this map here. These are all the states that have your stand your ground law. Georgia is one of those states. Does this make you feel more or less safe, and you think it's still a good law? We talked about it in Florida, where Trayvon Martin was. We live in Georgia. Georgia's one of quite a few states that got this law. Do you feel better? Go ahead and give me your responses there, please. Good comments so far. You want to like the comments? Throwing them in, y'all. About 2 o'clock. Like 2 to 1, like that. Throw in your answers, please. You on time? Okay. Good comments. Thank you guys. Again, like I said, go ahead. You guys can go and like other people's too. Ones that you agree with. I see some likes on here. Does anybody need more time to make a comment? Are y'all good? Good? Okay. We got 2 more things to do here, okay? All right. So, another reading, okay? These articles, I really hope you guys are getting them because these things y'all should be drawing from when we do the debate, okay? All right. Trayvon Martin's death sparked a movement that lives 5 years later. This came out in 2017. So it's a little dated, especially considering what happened, but it's still pretty good for us what I got. This time I went to CNN. Okay. Not a really long article, but long enough. So let's see where we are in 5 minutes on this one, okay, you guys? Go ahead and start reading. This one really start connecting us to Black Lives Matter, also other events that happen around Trayvon Martin. Anybody needs the QR code? Here you go. Then we'll go back to the article too. I'm checking at 5 minutes to see where we are with the reading of this. Okay. Here's the QR code. Got it? Again, this was written in 2017, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. I'll keep reading, I'm going to play the video. If it works.
The shooting death of Michael Brown by a Ferguson, Missouri police officer on August 9, 2014, reignited a worldwide debate about race in America. Brown's death also spurred a movement to change the relationship between law enforcement and people of color. The hashtag Black Lives Matter, which began after Trayvon Martin's death and picked up steam again, was used nearly 6 million times on Twitter in the year that followed Brown's death. The deaths of several other unarmed black men at the hands of police officers also gained attention. Ezell Ford in Los Angeles on August 11th, 12-year-old Tamir Rice in Cleveland on November 22nd, Tony Robinson on March 6th in Madison, Wisconsin, Eric Harris in Tulsa, Oklahoma on April 2nd, Walter Scott on April 4th in North Charleston, South Carolina, Freddie Gray in Baltimore on April 19th, and Samuel DuBose on July 19th in Cincinnati. But the nationwide focus began in Ferguson and dragged on for months. On November 24th, a grand jury decides not to indict Darren Wilson, the officer who killed Mike Brown. The decision isn't read until after nightfall. Rioters take to the streets in Ferguson. Hashtag Ferguson explodes on Twitter. The next day, there are protests, mostly peaceful, in more than 170 American cities. In the year after his death, hashtag Mike Brown was used in more than 3.5 million tweets. Hashtag Ferguson was used in nearly 43 million. Then, on December 3rd, a New York grand jury chooses not to indict the police officer who put Eric Garner in a chokehold on July 17th while trying to arrest him for allegedly selling cigarettes illegally. Garner can be heard repeating, "I can't breathe." Garner has a heart attack and dies on the way to the hospital. Hashtag I can't breathe dominates on Twitter and has been used in more than 2 million tweets since. In the days following the decision, protesters head to the streets of New York City, galvanizing their efforts on social media with other hashtags like "It Stops Today" and "Shut It Down." On December 13th, tens of thousands turn out for the Millions March in NYC. The next big clash between people and the police is in Baltimore, after Freddie Gray dies from injuries sustained while in a police van on April 12th. In West Baltimore, days of protests follow, turning violent on April 25th. The Maryland National Guard is called in to get control of the city. On April 28th, there are nearly 10 million tweets using hashtag Baltimore. On May 1st, Baltimore DA Marilyn Mosby announces 6 officers will face criminal charges in connection with Gray's death. Baltimore residents respond with cheers and tears. In the aftermath of Mike Brown's death, the Department of Justice finds the Ferguson Police Department routinely violated the constitutional rights of some of its citizens. In New York, Mayor Bill de Blasio announces a 3-day police retraining program. And President Obama calls for ways to improve the trust between law enforcement officers and the communities they serve. A task force recommends solutions like diversifying law enforcement agencies and minimizing the appearance of a military operation.
Okay, that video really kind of summed up the whole article. Okay, and this article is very, very important for what we're doing because now we're about to leap forward even more. This really kind of talks about everything happened since Trayvon Martin in a nutshell. You had a lot of different deaths. Forgive the commercial. You had Trayvon Martin. You had a lot of different deaths, and you also had Ferguson. Ferguson was really huge. And I'm saying Ferguson was huge, but remember I showed you guys the 1992 riots after after Rodney King? Y'all remember that? Ferguson, honestly, he did not get as much news telecast, but I went there. It was about as bad as I remember being in 1992 when I was 10 years old. So I got me on that? And it was really bad. And again, it did not get as much news attention. It got some, but it wasn't as bad. What did Ferguson follow? Who died in Ferguson that made that riot occur? Who got that? Masking online and face to face. Who got that? Mike Brown. Okay. And you had tons of others. So Mike Brown is Ferguson, and make sure you guys know that. I can't breathe. Where did that hashtag come from? After the death of who? Eric Garner. Okay. So remember, Mike Brown was Ferguson. Everybody got me on that? I'm making this notes for you guys. So this is how I'm making notes. You guys know y'all need to make the notes too. So you got Mike Brown for Ferguson. Then you had Eric Garner. And Eric Garner is for what again? I can't breathe. And then Black Lives Matters came after who? Trayvon Martin. Is everybody got me on that? And I'm saying because those you hear those all the time now, right? But now y'all have the historical significance of where it came from. They didn't just start in 2020. They've been happening ever since Trayvon Martin. Is everybody follow me there? Yes? All right. So that's a nutshell of that article, so that's very helpful. All right, your closing. Just tell me how you guys feel, okay? Just draw how you feel. I know we've been covering a lot of stuff. Online people, this is the last part we got to do. After this, you guys can sign off. You guys start cleaning up, but just draw how you feel right now as we done all that material, okay? Tomorrow, we're going to be picking up with Black Lives Matter and go a little bit more in detail with that. And then we get ready for our final debate next week. Just tell me how you're feeling. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Everybody had their cameras on. Thank you. So make sure you're feeling all right. And also thank you for your honesty too.